Hello, everyone. I am Jermaine Harris, and I'm sitting here with my lovely wife, Brandy Harris. Yes, LMFT, licensed marriage and family therapist. We are the founders of PCI, which is called
Power Couple International.
Power Couple International.
That's right. Childhood. Where does that come from? So I'm being able to do that and highlight it. And a lot of people, once you highlight it, or they hear it from another person, because maybe you told me that I was jealous. I'm like, no, I'm not. And this third person tells me, I'm like, well, right, you receive it. Interesting enough, we receive it a little bit more. So that is where it's helpful. And then the partner's like, well, I told you this all the time, and but in a nice way, of course.
Right. Well, you know, it's hard for me to take a message from you sometimes, because when I look into your eyes, I see my reflection, and I want to see a strong, virile man who's a man of his word, who will never turn his back on you. But when I do wrong and you catch me in it, and I look you in the eye, I see that scared little boy, that little liar that my mother used to call as a liar as a 7, 8-year-old. Yeah. I don't like to see that, and it makes me feel bad. So you know what I do? I just kind of turn away, and I just can't look you in the eye, and I can't even face myself sometimes. Yeah. Because my image of who I want to be, I know I'm not that. Yeah. So it's hard to face you. So sometimes when you're trying to tell me what's right and what's wrong, I don't want to admit it. Yeah. I don't want to believe it, because I don't want to be that scared little boy. So that's one reason why I feel that people just refuse to have the conversation.
Yeah. But going back to the scared little person, right? And for you, it's boy. For me, it's girl. Going back to that, it's one of the things where we try to do in couples work is, now I'm no longer the person who's attacking, right? I'm learning ways to be able to know that that's probably what's going on for him, and then how do I nurture him instead of attacking, or what's perceived as attacking. So I learn language. There's words that I can use that can make sure that he doesn't see it as attacking, but that he now can say, okay, she's hearing me, and I'm no longer that little boy, being called out as a liar and whatnot.
Yeah, definitely. So we were in a period where I felt that I could see where you had some trauma in your childhood, and I could see it, because even though I would ask you as nicely as possible, you would just like, it would just piss you off. So I'm like, next time, all right, when it happens again, I'm gonna be even nicer and tell you, but it pissed you off. So I'm realizing, okay, there's a trigger. Yeah, there's a trigger. So now it's like I'm trying to be as delicate as I possibly can. So I feel that therapy sometimes can give us new tools that we haven't thought of how we can address that issue.
Being raised with only my mom and not my dad, what came out in my marriage was when he would try to direct me, as nice as he wanted to be, I never received direction from a male. So whatever coping mechanism I developed in growing up without that, he wasn't going to be the one that's going to tell me about it. And I would react. I wouldn't respond. Once it came to our attention through therapy, it went away because of, coincidentally, the love language, right? Where he would just come and hug me, right? Or he would just come and touch me. So it's like whatever I was roaring at had nothing to do with the grown-up self. It was about that little girl. Yeah. That wasn't, you're not going to tell me nothing. You're not my daddy and all that stuff.
Yeah. Well, that's a good example of sometimes the verbal direction is not effective. Yeah. So maybe I can add some touch to it. Maybe I can add some humor to it. Maybe I can add an uncle or a parent or a therapist to help deal with that issue. Because I'm a man and I have a hammer, and if I see a nail sticking up, I'm gonna nail it. Yeah. That's what I do. But that doesn't work with everything and everybody. So I need to have more tools to figure out how can I get this in place and built properly. So I think therapy is a great way to build our toolbox. Yeah. And not just to have the tools, but learn how to use them. Yeah. And if I'm learning how to use my tools and you're learning how to allow me to use my tools to build us a better relationship, and vice versa, I think that's one of the benefits of therapy.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in learning.